Hey everybody, it's Mr. Cox and I'm back here with my new Q&A from questions I've gotten from my mailbag, just asking me random stuff, and I love to answer viewer mail from my students and sometimes parents, but in this case, these are all student questions. So let's get right to it. This is long overdue because some of these questions came in almost a month ago. So the first question here, it says, where do I teach now? As you all know, I taught at Ruby Thomas for 9 years. Before that, I spent 1 year at Beckley. So I went from Beckley to Thomas. And now here I teach at Dondero, which is way on the west side of town, far away from Thomas. It was a long time coming. Imagine how you guys move on and you change and you grow. You don't stay at the same school forever. So Mr. Costa's got to learn, change, and grow and move on. And so the other question that comes with that, Mr. Cox, will you ever come back to Ruby Thomas? So you can never say never. Maybe there will be a time in the back, and maybe I want to end my career there, where I strike a deal and I do come back. But it's time for really Mr. Cox to move and grow. If you were lucky enough and you were one of those few people in the office, I've actually been to Ruby Thomas 3 times already. And that was just to visit with the office staff there and drop things off or pick things up. So I've actually been to Thomas back 3 times. You just probably missed me because you didn't know I was there. I didn't announce it or anything like that. It was just me coming to say bye to people that I just been friends with a long time, such as Ms. Chapman or Ms. Miriam and whatnot in the office. So I do like saying hi to those. Those are friends of mine. And never say never, but if I was a betting man, you might see me pop up. Like I'm DJing around town. I've got a DJ gig coming. I got 3 DJ gigs in October. So you never know where you might find Mr. Cox around the town, especially nearby. Maybe Thomas will do something with me. You never know. But I don't want to put the eggs in that basket because that's up to them, not to anybody else. Let's go on to the next question. Mr. Cox, do you have a favorite color? Well, that question is easy. My favorite color is blue. One of the reasons why is I love the color blues because I can see the color blue. Mr. Cox is colorblind, so when you get into like pinks, purples, red, green, anything like that that blends with other colors, no, Mr. Cox can't see it. And sometimes even I myself call blue purple and purple blue. But I do like blue and how it looks, especially on me. So you'll see me in blue shirts almost all the time because I just like blue so much. Maybe that's why I went to Darndale, because their color is blue. Mr. Cox, what is your favorite candy? So two things. One, I don't really eat candy. Two, and if I did, it has to be a bag of peanut M&Ms. I love peanut M&Ms. Always has as a kid. When I was younger, I eat candy all the time, but not so much now. I've learned to lay off the candy. If I'm gonna have some sweets, give me a brownie. Give me a piece of chocolate cake, apple pie, pumpkin pie, anything like that will satisfy. Cookie, I love a chocolate chip cookie, a great, nicely baked one, or milkshakes. So those are the kind of I'd replace. Other than that, you will not see me with like snacky foods like candy and whatnot. You're more likely to see me with the grapes or oranges or uh, blueberries, strawberries. And I love berries. Berries are great for you. So those are some options there as well. Mr. Cox, speaking of food, will you ever do a cooking show? So this question came to me, I think, by a sixth grader asking me, hey, I'd like to prepare some meals at home. Can you develop a cooking show? So when I was about 8 years old, I could reach over the counter and I was learning how to cook. And I think a cooking show would be fun. I don't know how to edit it to make it interesting like some people do. I had gotten more editing equipment, and then my computer died, so now I use a school computer. So there's really equipment's really not really there to make a cooking show. But I would love like little things like, hey, how to make your own sandwich, how to make a little box of macaroni and cheese. No one's there to cook for you at that moment. You're hungry. Hey, mom and dad, you take a nap. I'm gonna handle this. Which is I did a lot. When I was a kid, I made pancakes, spaghetti, and there'd be the pancakes in the bag, but it didn't really matter to me. I would make the mix and put them on the grill. I knew when to flip them and whatnot. So maybe a little basic cooking show in the future. How long in the future, I don't know. But speaking of older students, Mr. Cox, what would you do if you were the president? So I kind of made a joke video a couple of years about this ago, but if I was the president now, the first thing I'm going to tell you guys to do is don't ask Mr. Cox. Okay. The reason is that you should really get your political answer from your parents, and I don't want to persuade you in either way possible. So if that's a discussion you want to have, I can give my opinion right here on my channel, which I'm about to do. Just one little change that I would make. But most of all, get it from your parents and get it from people that you know, that can help you develop your opinion. And that's okay to have an opinion. So if I was president, one thing I would change is the food shortage. Okay. Again, this is my opinion. This is not opinion of anybody else. You don't have to like my opinion. You can disagree, and that's okay. We're all allowed to think for ourselves. And what I would do with the food shortage is that, let's say you're on a corner, and some corners have like 3 grocery stores on one corner, maybe even 4, 2. They don't need to all be there. I would actually have them being spaced out a little bit more. I know there's stretches in neighborhoods where there's no grocery stores, and they got to ride a bus all the way down to get to the grocery store. That shouldn't happen. It should be accessible, but spread it out. Give people the option. If the food is not being always thrown away, which a lot of stores do, is they throw the food away, it gets bad, and they throw it out, and then nobody gets to eat it. If we had less of that, the food costs would drop because there'd be less waste of food. It would be less stress on our farmers. And I know the stores want to make money. That's the biggest thing. Hey, how can I increase my revenue? Let me put a store in this location that's really busy, and then everybody get a chance. But I think if you spread the stores out just a little bit, and then put those stores in the radius to where people can just walk if they don't want to take a drive, or they don't have a car or whatever, I think that would be the best thing possible, and it would give people a chance. Then you're like, oh, what about the options? Yes, the options of going to different grocery stores. I get it. That's why I'm not the president and I don't make these decisions. But that's just something I would do personally. And with that, I am really just out of questions for this time. If you want your question emailed, I will open up the chat below. Put your question in, and you can watch my previous Q&A so you don't re-ask questions from before. And you have this one, so put it in the chat. I will come up with a new Q&A. That's all for right now. I don't have any other questions, but please send your questions in. It could be educational. It could be about life. It could be about college. It could be about anything. Ask me. I'm willing to help. Everybody take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.